So I've got this all framed in, painted, ready to go. Now I just got to finish the ceiling. So right now I'm going to insulate. I'm going to use Insulation Pink. I have a whole bunch of that left over from when I did the project of building this shop, which I haven't completed yet. It's only been 8 years. Might actually finish it one day. So yes, so I have a few extra bales of that upstairs. I'm gonna go grab them. I'm gonna start cutting them and getting them into place so we can get this roof finished, and then get that cut in and squared away so the fan is in there ready to go. Of course, you only want to rough it in because I'm going to be fiberglassing the ceiling or this roof, and so I don't want to put too much effort into screwing everything down because I'm just going to be taking it off. So I'm going to put this into time lapse. I'm going to get this insulated, and I'll see you on the other side. Thanks for watching. Well, that's the insulation, I guess. It's R22. Like I said, I had it left over from the shop. That's really meant for 6-inch joists, not 4, so it's a little poofy. I probably could peel some of it back, but I don't think it's worth it. Anyway, this is where all the heat leaks out, is the roof. And also when it's sunny, I don't want it super hot, so this should help insulate some of that so it doesn't heat up like a greenhouse. Anyway, now I'm going to throw some wood on here, get it all glued and screwed. I just have to take some time to mark where my joists are so that I can screw it in and not miss it 100 times and fill the wood full of holes. So that's what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to put a time lapse again, and hey, putting on the roof. Here we go. You know that moment when you build something and you first climb on top of it and you wonder, will it pass the FA test? That's fat ass for those of you at home. Pretty solid. I didn't go through yet. 1/2-inch plywood, and I'm using 2-inch wood screws, or sorry, 1.25-inch wood screws. I'm not gluing this one down. Not this time. Just screws. You probably noticed I'm not a big fan of cutting sheets first, but putting them in place and then cutting them. This is about 1/4 inch out of square, and so instead of screwing up a sheet of plywood, I'll screw it into place with a tiny bit of overhang where it is, and then I will round the corners, because I'm going to be rounding the corners anyway to accept the fiberglass better. So, so I'm just going to leave a little bit extra, round them a little bit with my electric planer, and then with the sander, smooth it over. So at least that way I know it fits exactly, and I'm not wasting any wood. It's a little more hassle, yes, but it's just what I have to deal with, especially in this tiny shop. Okay, the challenges of ripping a board in a tiny shop without a saw. You need a very nice long straight edge. And I got me a piece of this very nice 10-foot, maybe it's 12-foot. No, that's 10-foot. It's 10-foot angle. It has been my savior. And I have a square set up for the offset of the fence to the blade. So I'm going to do that now, get that set up. One of the things I did when I started this project, I took my square, I put a test cut, I clamped this down on a piece of wood, did a test cut, measured the offset, marked this square, and I haven't changed it the whole project. So now when I set up a line, I can lay this on the line, and I know that's where the fence is going to be. That way my offset from my saw is always the same. Now, one thing to note, when you're using this fence, if you get to the center on softer plywood, it'll flex, and your saw blade or your saw guide might ride underneath that space. So I usually put one screw here, maybe another one here, just to keep this from flexing with the wood. So just going to do that, and we'll get ready to go. It's always wise to look down the angle of your cut before you cut, so you're not cutting your sawhorses. If you look at my sawhorses closely, you'll see that I might not have done that once or twice. Not really good on the saw or the horses. Here we go. Couple minutes of prep, you can cut straighter than a table saw every time. Hey, that cut couldn't have turned out any tighter. Absolutely perfect. Now I'm going to get it screwed down, make some measurements, and clip off the extra. I'm going to put this into hyperlapse. See you on the other side. Okay, now I'm going to mark and trim off the excess overhang off the back. Though I was staring at it and I was thinking it'd make it actually a very good overhang. And you know, now that I'm thinking about it, it probably wouldn't hurt to keep a 4-inch, 3 or 4 inch overhang, and then go around it with the fiberglass just as a little bit of a water shield. But yeah, the whole thing's going to be waterproofed anyway. And if it's that bad where I'm going, I'll just throw a tarp over the damn thing, I guess. Let's mark that with this straight edge first. Oh, okie dokie. So, now that we're closer up here, I'll just show you. Most of you probably seen this trick before anyway. So I have that totally set. Every saw is different. It has a small space between the fence and the saw blade. So if you mark and get that set up, lock this down, and don't only use it for that every time, it becomes quite a quick asset. The first few minutes you have to do it. It's a bit of a pain, but once you've got it set, all I have to do now is set that square up right there, and then put a clamp, and that's it. Then I'll go back and double check. Yeah, let's set the clamp first. I might actually, I think I'm gonna have to saw that the other direction. I got nothing to clamp onto. I'll have to go this direction. Alright. Alright. No big deal, small change of plans. Set it up to the line. And set up your clamp. Do that down the other end. Square it up on the line. Bring your guide to the edge. Set up your clamp. We just like to verify by taking this along and making sure that when you touch your fence, that line, you'll see it started to wander. I want to make sure it's a good test. Make sure it's still cutting on the line. I mean, it went off a hair. Easily fixed. In fact, double check again. Perfect. And that's it to that trick. Now when I run my saw from that direction up against this fence, it'll be the most perfect cut right on this line. Okay, you're probably asking yourself, and you immediately know it's you because you recognize your voice in your head that's constantly telling you you shouldn't be building this. What happens when I get halfway here and all this weight pulls this down and cracks off the wood? And, aha! I have something for that too. So you get a piece of scrap flexible, so this is 3/8 plywood. After I've made the cut to here, I'll put a screw here and a screw here, and then I'll do the same once I pass here with this piece. Yeah, it's an extra step, whatever. That's what happens when you don't have a table saw. But anyway, I'm gonna give this a cut and we'll be right back. Just like that. Perfect cut. Nice and square. Left myself just a tiny little bit to sand. But, I mean, probably doesn't even need sanding. But there you go. 2 tricks with a piece of angle. It's been a godsave in my shop right now since I sold my table saw. Not that I would have had room to use a table saw in here anymore. So if you got a small shop, that is the ticket, my friends. Give that a try. Just a couple minutes of setting up your square at the beginning. I have another square that I use, so I don't have to change that one, and you're good to go. Well, here's a little trick I learned when I was on the space shuttle. Okay, I wasn't on the space shuttle. However, using an extension so that you can get past the inside edge so that you can get a screw up straight, put 4 screws almost in the corner. Then when you have all 4 corners, you can just draw out your lines onto your screws. That gives you solid spot to put your straight edge against. You take the screws out, and you have your hole exactly where you wanted it. Use VZ. You also have drill holes in which to start. So I had sanded and painted down there, so I gave myself a small offset. So hopefully I can cut this with my jigsaw without carving up my nicely painted inside here. So let's get that jig hole started and cut her open. Okay, the only thing I gotta watch out for is my wires. You remember in the segment putting in my fan, I had to raise them up because the fan was so much higher. So now it's this close to the wood. So I'm just gonna do a little zigzaggy around that, and I'll just hand saw that piece out. Just I don't want to nick those wires because I don't want to run them again. And I put some tape around the inside of the edges to protect it. They should invent a jigsaw that cuts straight. Oh wait, they did. It's a skill saw. Anyway, it's in. It's gonna put a little bit of sand, a couple screws in there, and I'm gonna drop that fan back in there and see how it looks. Hopefully it hits. Like a glove. I got a couple smaller screws. I'm just going to tack that in place. I guess I should feed that wire in through. I'll take this out again anyway. Before I fiberglass. So, the thing about roughing in, you want to make sure it all fits, but then when you're set to paint or fiberglass, you have to take all the fittings out. Oh, you come on. Let's put one in each corner here. Yeah, I think that's going to be a perfect spot for it. I was going to put it way forward, but you little bugger. Where'd you go? Where are you? Come on. Play that game. Alright. Cool beans. I'm not just saying that, these beans are cool. Ta-da! Alright. Wow. That looks like a winner. Well, other than this gigantic mess that I have to vacuum out of here because I forgot to cover this up. Like it ding dong. Yeah, that's twice I've done that. Other than that, that part is finished. I'm just gonna temporarily put in the bezel just so it's up all the way and I know where it is. Couple little screw holes, just kind of finish this off so I can check this off the list and actually see how it looks finished up. So let's just get that up there, and then I will go in and upload this for you guys. I gotta be careful because this is thin plastic, so have to be very gentle. Very gentle. Well, I feel like the project so far has been going pretty good. A few setbacks, nothing that we couldn't overcome, adapt and overcome. That's what they said on the Titanic when I was there. All right, I wasn't there either. All right, you got me. Okay, well, maybe if I turn that light off, which might be able to have a better look at that. Well, you can kind of see with the light coming through, it definitely looks pretty good. The bezel's a little bit spaced in here, but all in all, I think it turned out pretty good. Let me know what you guys think. Hope you've been following along, and I appreciate all of you who've subscribed, and if you haven't, please subscribe. It really helps us out, keeps us motivated to do more. And if you have any more questions and comments, by the way, they've been awesome. I appreciate every one of them. There's been some really good ideas, and some great feedback. I really appreciate that. And another big shout out to my internet buddy who I've never met, Graham from Woodness Goodness, who's been keeping me motivated to do this, because he's been pounding his out pretty good, and I've loved every minute of it. If you haven't had a chance to see his stuff, head over to Woodness Goodness, have a look. It's pretty amazing stuff. Anyway, that's it for me today. I'm Scott from Realistic Outdoors. I really appreciate you guys joining me on this journey, and she's all up and running. That's very exciting. So now, you know what that means? The door. This is what I've been dreading the whole time. Anyway, I think I've been dreading it long enough. That'll be it coming up next. Stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching, guys. And if I don't see you by then, Merry Christmas, everybody. Happy holidays. And to you and your family, stay safe.